When you learn to build and scale an Airbnb business, one of the best surprises is finding out you don't need to own any property to do it. One of the ways to do this is to become an Airbnb property manager, also called co-hosting. So how can you become an Airbnb property manager? In this video, I'll tell you exactly how you can get started. It has all the perks you can think of. You basically make money running other people's properties. There's little to no investment on your part, and you can scale more quickly than any other model. As a short-term rental property manager, you're in constant communication with the homeowner, staff, and guests as well. Airbnb property managers have a complete business model you must follow. Now, while rental arbitrage is a higher profit model than becoming an Airbnb property manager, it's extremely volatile. The main difference is that your name isn't on any contracts related to the property. In most cases, the homeowner is allowed to do what they please with the property. If they want to list it as a short-term rental, there are far fewer regulations stopping them. If your position as an Airbnb property manager, you would just be managing the property for them. You aren't responsible for paying rent, utilities, maintenance of the house, or any of that stuff that would be forced on you as a tenant or homeowner. How do you become an Airbnb manager? To become an Airbnb property manager, the first step is to understand the vacation rental industry. You're watching this video, so you probably have a good idea already. Ideally, you may already have some experience as an Airbnb host. This will help you not only demonstrate to homeowners that you know what you're doing, but will also help you prepare for any issues that may come up. And trust me, just give it some time because they will come up. What should you know about managing Airbnb properties? Before you become an Airbnb property manager, you may be wondering how making so much money could be so easy. Well, it's not. This is a full-time job that often requires wearing many hats. It can be draining physically, emotionally, and mentally. You have to be aware and also be accessible 24/7. There are some hidden parts of this business that you may not be aware of. Here are the 5 things you should know before becoming an Airbnb property manager. Guests expect the best, regardless if your hospitality is professional or not. Try to automate your work as far as possible. This is the golden standard for any scalable business. Learn about digital marketing. Slapping your listing on Airbnb is no longer enough. Have an open mindset and strive for excellence. Set clear communication standards. Your team and guests should know exactly how to communicate with you. People who book with Airbnb know they're booking with an individual and not a big corporate hotel, but that doesn't mean they don't have high expectations in terms of hospitality. You're basically running a hotel, but you don't have staff. The number one thing to keep in mind when you start working as an Airbnb property manager is that the guest's experience should be your top priority. No matter what, you should communicate in a quick, friendly, and comprehensive manner and do everything for them to have a great stay. This will help you get more good reviews, which means more quality bookings. Try to automate your work as far as possible. There's nothing scalable about being a DIY Airbnb property manager. You can't do it all and grow your business, even if you do everything better than anybody else could. The reason that as you scale, you will take on more properties that are scattered around the place. As you start spreading yourself thin, the guest experience will also suffer. So will your business. There's no need to do it all anymore. There are tons of tools and resources for property managers to scale. Since the main thing guests will notice and point out in their reviews is the cleanliness of your unit, you should start there. The first thing you'll want to do is outsource the cleaning to one person or a small team. Find a cleaning that is able to follow instructions, arrive on time, and do everything that is necessary to keep your Airbnb in good condition. Next, you can think about using Airbnb Automation tools. These won't only help you save time and money. Automating your guest communication, for example, will boost your response time, thereby increasing your ranking. Using Airbnb pricing tools will help keep your prices right in real time, finding the sweet balance between full occupancy and best rates. Taking all these steps in automating your Airbnb property management business will let you work on your business at a higher level instead of staying in the weeds. You also need to learn about digital marketing. As an Airbnb property manager, you're not only in charge of taking care of the guests and managing the property, you are in charge of the general success of the short-term rental property. That means you'll have to learn about marketing online and maybe even offline. It's not as simple as just publishing your listing on Airbnb and then waiting for bookings. Your first step will be to learn about Airbnb SEO and how the Airbnb ranking factors work. If you can learn to write the catchiest Airbnb titles, descriptions, and create the most enticing photo sessions, well, then you're on the right path. After that, you should learn how to do social media marketing. Instagram can work pretty well for Airbnb properties. It's also a good idea to create a separate website for the properties. You don't need coding skills to do this. You can use platforms like Shopify to easily create your websites. Try to have an open mindset. If you really want to become an Airbnb property manager, you need to come at it as a business. You need to have the right kind of mindset to succeed. I once thought that we all just naturally think a certain way, that you can't change the way you think, and even if you did, that it wouldn't make a big difference. I thought that success comes from being smart and working hard, and that's true, of course. But I soon realized that I completely underestimated the power of a strong mindset. I've seen firsthand in myself and many others that mindset is one of the most important contributors to success. But what's even more exciting? I learned that you can change the way you think, that the brain is like a muscle. You can train it. If I could encourage you to do anything, it would be to start working on your mindset from the start. Set clear communication systems for guests and homeowners. One of the hardest parts about being an Airbnb property manager is getting overwhelmed with all the communication you need to keep up with. It's not just that there's a lot of it, you also need to do it well, in a timely and professional manner. As an Airbnb property manager, you need to set systems for communicating with the homeowners. Make sure you set up systems and processes for how the homeowner communicates with you. Keep a record of your communications and have a system for sending reports and following up with any issues. Now is the time to start your future as an Airbnb property manager. Becoming an Airbnb property manager can be your next step to financial freedom. You just need to approach it with the right mindset, prioritizing the guest experiences and automating your business. Let me know in the comments if you've been thinking about becoming an Airbnb property manager. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and I have an entire playlist here with even more tips you need to learn about hosting on Airbnb. So I'll see you in the next one.